This video is like a prequel, not a prequel, because a prequel usually, anyway, this is like a pre-video thing. I'm losing it. I've lost my mind. I'm gonna blame this little headache that I have, and I'm gonna take some ibuprofen when this is over. I am doing the Dewey's Readathon, 24-hour readathon, tomorrow. And for my time zone, it starts at 7 in the morning. So I'm going to try and get up at 7 in the morning. There's no way I'm going to be awake for 24 hours, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm probably going to nap throughout the day. But I'm supposed to do like updates. So be prepared, because you're going to get bombarded with videos. Because I was going to do one right before I started it, but I decided to do it today instead, because I don't want to get up at like 6:30 in the morning and be like, I'm awake, I'm doing a video, because that's totally what it would be. Instead, I'm just going to wake up at 7, or try to wake up at 7, and be like, book, okay. So I'm doing the like pre-video thing today to tell you what I'm doing and all that, and I kind of have a books I'm going to try and read stack, but not really. Like, I pulled some books that I think would be easy to read or finish, but it's really going to be whatever I grab onto. So the plan is, whenever I finish a book, I'll do a video and be like, and now I finished this book, going to go read more. And it's going to be a lot of really short videos. That's pretty much just that. I'm probably also going to do my usual Instagram pictures of the book covers when I finish them, but this is going to be the primary thing that I'm doing the readathon for, the Instagram thing. If I do it, it's just going to be like a side thing. And I'm probably going to nap throughout the day and whatever. I don't know. I need sleep, so I'm going to try and get sleep, but I'm also going to try and read. So I'm going to quit yammering about it. There is a website. You can just look up the Dewey's 24-hour readathon. And it tells you like the different time zones so that everybody starts at the same time and all that stuff. So right now I'm just going to get into the pile of books. I've got a couple piles of books. I mean, I've got all of these giant piles and stacks of books in here anyway, but these are the ones that I dug out last night that I'm going to try and focus on. So I had eaten yogurt, and I had it sitting on the bed with a spoon in it to take downstairs when I go downstairs, and a book totally just rolled. Like, rolled. So this non-cylindrical thing rolled. Knocked over the yogurt cup and knocked the spoon on the bed, so now I have yogurt on the mattress. That's lovely. Okay. So, the first one I pulled was Catcher in the Rye. I got this recently. I haven't read it before, and a friend of mine did request that I do a review video for it. And that was a few months ago, and I haven't read it or done it yet. So I put this into my pile. The next thing I pulled out was The Hobbit, because I got the movies to watch, well, the first two, but I don't want to watch them without having read the book, even though that's what I did with Lord of the Rings. But this one's also supposed to be easier to read than Lord of the Rings, and I got this recently as well. So that's in the pile. Like I said, I'm not going to get through all this. I just try to pull out some things that I think I might get through, or that would be easy to read, or whatever. The next one I pulled was Agatha Christie's The Body in the Library, because this is one that I have. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like old book. And I don't think I've ever actually read an Agatha Christie book, so that would be awesome. It's a Jane Marple murder mystery, and it's Agatha Christie, so of course it would be good. So that's in the pile. I pulled out Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale, because this is one I haven't read yet, and I found a movie version that came out in 2014 that I want to watch, but I really want to read the play first. And of course I have to have at least one Shakespeare thing in this pile, an actual play. I pulled out Something's Afoot. It's another play. It's a new murder mystery musical. This one I got for a class last fall, and I was supposed to like read it a new project on it, but I never actually got around to reading the play because I'm that kind of bad student. So I want to read that. Plus it's like tiny, so plays always go quickly for me. So that should be easy to get through. There we go. Next thing is another play. It's All the World's a Grave, and it is a new play by William Shakespeare. It's basically, this dude took all of Shakespeare's plays and they all happened together, and it's all like a big mismatch, and it sounds really interesting, and I started reading it ages ago, but it's so long ago that like I don't even remember what was going on, so I just pulled my bookmark out and it's like, okay, I need to restart this. I got it at Books A Million for $1 before there was a Books A Million where I was living. Like, we still had Borders, so you can tell how long I've had this because we still had Borders. So there's that one. I also pulled Dr. Faustus because I thought I had read this, and I got a copy of it at the bookstore just so I would have a copy, and I got on Goodreads and I haven't read it, so I guess I only read part of it because I know I was supposed to read for class one semester. I swore I read the whole thing, but I guess I only read part of it or something, so that's in the pile. The next thing I have is one that I have started but I haven't finished. It's called Contested Will. It's by James Shapiro, who I've read another one of his books that I really enjoyed. And this is it's a nonfiction. It's about who wrote Shakespeare, did Shakespeare really write Shakespeare, all of that, which, in my opinion, yes, Shakespeare wrote Shakespeare. But that's a rant for another time. If you want to hear that rant, I can film that rant. But I wanted to finish this because I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and it's really interesting. When I started reading it before, I wasn't really in a nonfiction mood. So now I've been like really interested in finishing it and everything. So I put that in the pile. The next thing I have is this. This is a complete poems of Shakespeare. I've already read all of the sonnets, and this is way huger, bigger, whatever, than it needs to be, because it's got a bunch of intro that I'm just not interested in. This, when I do finish it, it won't go on my Goodreads because I only have it because I am currently reading Venus and Adonis, which I had not read before. So I want to finish that, and then there's let me get this title right. The Rape of Lucrece, which I also hadn't read. So I want to read those. Finish that up. And then I have this book, and it is The Secret History of Elizabeth Tudor Vampire Slayer. Number 1, everybody's been reading Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which I read, and I just watched the movie last night. The movie, don't even get me started. Oh my gosh, it was bad. But the book was really good, and the book was extra interesting to me because Lincoln was always a history. Lincoln and the Civil War was always a history thing or person or whatever that I was interested in reading about when I was younger. Plus, I've always been interested in reading about vampire type books. So putting those two things together was really cool for me. And I saw this at V-Stock. It was on clearance. It was $1.50. And I'm like, it's $1.50. I have to read this because Elizabeth Tudor, Elizabethan era, Shakespeare, all that stuff is stuff that I've also been really interested in reading about. And how can I not pick up the book that's about another one of my favorite historical figures killing vampires? I mean, how can I not pick that up, especially for $1.50? So I started reading it in the car, and then I put it down, and I'm still really interested in it, but I'm like, no, the library books I need to finish, so I put it down. I haven't finished it, so I want to work on that. Like I said, I'm not going to get through nearly all of this. This one is The Story of the World. It's volume 4, is The Modern Age. It's basically a textbook, but it's what I was using in high school, and they're really cool because they are simple enough that a kid in grade school or middle school could understand them, but they have enough information in them that, I mean, I'm 21, and I read a couple of chapters of this last night, and I'm like, this is still interesting. It's not talking down to me, but it's not so hard to read that younger kids can't understand it either. But it still tells you a lot, and it's written more like an actual story, hence Story of the World. And it's not boring, it's actually interesting. So I really like these in high school. This was the last one we were using. I didn't finish it. It still got my paper from high school in it. But I do want to finish that. And it's really, they're good books. I'm going to try and get Alex to read this when I get done. And I have the other 3 on my Amazon list of things I want to eventually buy. But these are great books. And then I have, these are the library books. So that's the main pile. Sorry, I have a drippy nose today. That's the main pile that I'm planning on, and then I do want to work on my library books. And I have a history nonfiction book about the Vikings. I have The Madman's Daughter, which is a book about, if you have read The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells, it is a book about Dr. Moreau's daughter. So this is really interesting because I love The Island of Dr. Moreau. So I'm already in the middle of those 2 and need to finish them. This one is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. Everybody on YouTube has been going nuts about Colleen Hoover and how awesome Colleen Hoover is. And my library had 2 of her books, and this was the one that was available, so I got this one out. I started reading it. I'm only like 15 pages in, and I wasn't interested, so I set it down. But I do want to try and finish that to see, because I might get into it in the middle of the book. I don't know. I would like to finish that. I've got another Vikings history nonfiction. I've got a biography, The Far Traveler, Voyages of a Viking Woman. It's about a Viking woman who actually lived in North America for a time. It sounded really interesting. Let me set these back up there, because hardcovers. All the hardcovers. Okay. And then the last one I started the other day, it's called Wicked. It's the book that the musical was based on. I'm about 40 pages in. It's really interesting. I'm liking it so far. But I do want to finish some of the books that I have sitting around here, like the ones I showed you. So, primary things I want to read is the first pile, and then there's library books, and then I have more books I'm reading up there and over there, and I just have books everywhere. So it's pretty much going to be whatever I grab, but those are the ones I have in my head that I think I want to finish. And I think that's all for this video. I've been yammering for almost 15 minutes. So I'm going to shut up now and go read books. Even though the readathon doesn't start until tomorrow, I've still been reading like crazy. Because I was going to not read for a while, and once I got to the day of the readathon, I'd be like, yay, books, and just read everything I've been reading. I mean, I can't not read. I've actually been cleaning things too, though, so that's changed. I'm going to shut up now, go read books, and I will see you later. Bye.